Hi guys, welcome to the S1000RR. Right guys, welcome. I'm going to get on with this quickly because GoPro's doing my nutting today, but this is the S1000RR 2024 plate. I'm going to give you my sort of long-term thoughts about it, if I think it's worth buying, and just how I've been getting along with it. I've had this bike for about 5 months. First of all, I'll take you around it. So this has got a few packages on it. This has got the forged wheels over the carbon. It has a aquapovic pipe. It has the M Sport pack, hence the white colour. Oh, my poor bones. I believe these are Nissan's brakes, Nissan Master cylinder. Quick shifter up and down. It's got lovely rear sets on it. This has the performance package on it, so it also has all the modes, which also throws in the silencer. Has a comfort pack, which throws in the heated grips. It also has an M Endurance chain, which is, I don't know, heavy duty. I don't know how it changes from the standard, but that's what it has. Look at it. Looks great, doesn't it? Great looking bike. Golden forks. Looks lovely. This one has a M Sport pack seat as well, which is solid. So this is obviously BMW Super Sport bike for 2024. It's a 999cc 210 horsepower animal. It has BMW shift cam engine. Oh, I'm breathing so heavy, it's so hot. Yeah, it has the BMW shift cam engine, which you'll find in the M1000R and the M1000RR. Oh, and it is rather good to look at, isn't it? Anyway, I'm not going to bore everyone with specs and all that jazz. I'm just going to get on and ride it. But yeah, if you're interested in buying one of these, stick around. We'll get into it. Alright, let's go. So jumping on the bike, ergonomically, let's talk about the seating position. It's super aggressive, as you would expect for a bike like this. I have heard a lot of people sort of talking about, is it a comfortable bike, and a lot of people have said it's a very comfortable super sport, and to be honest, it is quite comfortable for a super sports bike if you compare it to, say, an R1, which is like super racy. This is a fairly comfortable super sport. It also does depend on the seat you have and the setting that you have it in. The seat that I have on this is the M Sport seat, and it's honestly like sitting on a rock. They almost should have just done, you know, the little racing foam, because this is so hard, and I wouldn't want to sit on it for much longer than you know, a quick ride to a cafe, which is where I'm assuming most of these bikes are going to go. I mean, let's be honest, with the whole comfort side of things, this is a race bike. This is a pretty much thoroughbred race bike on the road, so you're not going to have the most comfortable experience. What it lacks in comfort, it makes up for in pretty much everything else. Like, looks wise, this bike is pretty stunning. I think it's a lovely looking bike, and you would have seen from the walk around at the start, you know, it's got a lot going on. It's got nice fins down there. I actually like the fins, the aerodynamic fins. You know, and the power. Absolutely mental. That's 205, 209 horsepower of just animal power. One thing I do notice when I'm riding this bike is the vibrations. I don't know what sort of RPM they come in, but let's have a look. I'm at 4 and it's fine. Let's go down again. So I'm starting to feel a bit of vibes. So yeah, 6,000. So at 6,000 RPM, the vibes are pretty unbearable. They are annoying, and that is the case with a lot of BMWs. A lot of BMW inline 4s do suffer with vibes, like vibey hands, vibey bum. So if that bothers you, you know, you can have a like vibey time. Something I noticed actually straight away on the M1000R, it was how vibey it was when I started it. I remember it just vibrated all through my hands. Obviously comes in a couple of colour codes this particular year. This is a 2024 S1000RR. I think it comes in black and red as well as the M Sport White. The M Sport White is a nice little package. It does add on a few little saucy bits to the bike. I actually like it in white. Not usually the biggest fan of a white bike. But yeah, this one's got a comfort pack on it. It's got the performance pack. It's a sport. So it has the, with the whole performance package, I think it's a performance package. It has the Acra slip-on, which is quite nice. Looks really good. Looks like it's fresh out of the Isle of Man TT, even though they use the M. Hello. Don't push our luck too much here. Ring. Hello, sir. Nice to see you. What I do like about the BMW is the TFT. Very clear, very easy to navigate in my opinion. You've got a mode button down here, also has your heated grips and stuff like that. It's a bit odd that he pulls over, that makes me sus. Need to take a phone call. So yeah, I do like the TFT. It's got a few rider modes, this bike. It has sport, rain, road, race. This has Race Pro 1, which you can customize, which is nice. I like the Race Pro mode, although the suspension is very stiff. I like the fact that it backfires when you're in this mode, and when you're in your little yobbo mood, it's pretty nice. The only thing is, I can definitely feel how uncomfortable it gets. The highlight of this engine is definitely the engine for me. Did I say highlight of this engine? The highlight of this bike is the engine for me. It's just a bit of an animal. 210 horsepower bike. Anyway guys, I'm going to find some nicer roads instead of traffic, and we'll take it out and see what it's like. So being a BMW, it does have a shifter up and down. Oh, it's so fucking bouncy and bumpy. It slices through the air like a missile. It's so fast. You'd be easily speeding on this bike if you were on it. Like, even if you just don't want it to have a little bit of fun, you look down, you're just like, oh shit, I'm actually doing 40 mile an hour of the speed limit, and it's a 70. So it comes into the whole, is 200 horsepower really a fun power point on the road? For me it isn't really. I think the sweet spot's about 170, and that's at the crank. Like about 170, 180 horsepower, you're having a real good time. This is such a rocket. The handling is direct, really quick to turn. It's not as quick as like a naked bike. I've noticed that it's a bit, you know, it's a bit slow to turn compared to like a naked, but that's natural because the naked has the bars, the leverage. Quick shift is silky, really nice and smooth. I got my shift light on from when it was having a run-in service, so. Every bump is being felt right now. So who's this bike actually for? Like, who's going to use this? Who's actually going to get the potential out of this? And if I'm being brutal, and don't take offence, that's a nice 911. But this mainly is going to be in car parks and on Instagram. So let's be honest. Unless you're a fully fledged racer, not racer, but track day addict. A track day addict is going to be the one that gets the most out of this bike, because you're not going to get the most out of this on the road. You just aren't. I don't care who you are. You could be Marc Marquez and he is not going to get the most out of this on the road. For long anyway, before he loses his license or goes to prison. It's a lovely day. The shift cam engine does pick up really well. It does have good torque down low, considering it's an inline 4. I think this exact bike is about 22,000 with all the options. I believe they start about 19. But as soon as you put a couple of options on these, they go upwards rather fast. Obviously there's a 2025 model out now. So the pricing might have changed just slightly, probably gone up, but I'm not entirely sure. One thing though, I feel great on it. Like, I know it looks good, I know I look good on it, and I feel good. And I think that's an important key thing to take away, is how the bike makes you feel. It doesn't really matter if you're not going to get the most out of it. Like, the bike is to enjoy. You know, you want to open up your garage and look at it and just be like, yes. And you want to get that excitement when you look at your bike in the garage. And that's, you know, I don't own this bike, but I definitely have, you know, that sense of, yes, that looks real good in the garage. And it'll be a shame to see it go. I give this back tomorrow. I can't see anything really in the wing mirrors. They're so vibey. You can just sort of see like an object going around, which is a car. So it really sort of begs the question if they're really worth having on there, or if you would want to upgrade to something else. Most people do. Most people get the those fancy Instagram like H2 style ones. I haven't had any problems with this bike. I have noticed it makes a little weird rattle when you if you rev it really sharply when it's on idle. It makes a little sort of like ball bearing rattle. I don't know if that's normal or if that's bad, I'm not really sure. But yeah, it's obviously one of those bikes which you can just have unlimited, you know, unlimited upgrades on to make it look real mean. And if you are an occasional track day goer and you love sports bikes, this bike would be absolutely insane for you. It would, it's got really direct handling, it's really lovely to ride, it's smooth. The throttle application, even in a race mode, is really nice and smooth. It's way better than my MT10. Actually have some level of control, which is really nice. It smells a lot down here of cows. Woo! Damn. I say this in every BMW review I ever do, but they're kind of at the top of their game, bikes. Like they've really come on. They have such a huge range of bikes now. You obviously have the M1000RR above this one, which is like a, I think, an almost £40,000 bike, which is insane. The brakes on this bike are silly. They are silly sharp. They are really good. The front brake is a Nissan. I think it's Nissan. But they're very good. You know, best brakes I've ever felt on a motorcycle. The rear brake is quite hard to reach, but I think that could be adjusted to suit. I'm just lazy. Oh yeah, you're going my way. Little squirt of the throttle and you're just absolutely flying. It's insane. This obviously has electronic suspension on the go. You can adjust it on the fly. For example, if it starts hammering down, I can just quickly press mode, into rain, done. You just have to come off the throttle and it'll switch over into rain mode. Like that. Off, done. Now my throttle application is a little less harsh. I think the suspension might soften a little bit from race mode. Easy as that. I mean, it's pretty much, you know, you can't really buy a terrible bike now, can you? They're just all pretty good. I do have cramp in both of my wrists already though. Right in my palm, which is why I don't own a sports bike. But yeah, I have a lot of interest in this bike. Whenever I do a video on this bike or whatever, put it on YouTube, a lot of people, you know, absolutely love it and are in awe of it. And I'm not surprised. It's one of those sort of dream bikes. And it looks amazing, it goes amazing, and it, you know, it does everything amazingly. It's pretty hard to fault, to be honest. The only thing I would say with BMWs is they just, you know, I get a lot of hate for saying it, but there's just a little bit of lack of character. It's that typical sort of, you know, does everything really well, but it lacks the sex appeal. Although it's a very sexy bike, don't get me wrong. A very sexy bike. But imagine if this had like a V4 that was 210 horsepower. Oh, I would actually be in the queue to have it, I think. You just have to. Imagine the M1000R with a V4. Oh, it'd be lovely. I just think inline fours, for me, they're just a little bit, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I can't put my finger on it. I just like a bit of a different engine than an inline 4 nowadays. I've had a lot of inline 4s, which are just typical screamers, and this is another inline 4, which is a screamer, but obviously a very fast one. I do really like the hill start control on this bike. When you're on a hill, and it will just hold the bike there for you until you start to pull away. It's actually quite useful. I didn't think it would be very useful. Thought it would be a bit of a gimmick, but no, it's very good, very good. So fast, so fast. But obviously on the UK, you're just stuck with stuff like this, that doing 33 miles an hour in, I think we're in a 50 or a 60, I don't know. But yeah, sometimes you just can't help the traffic, especially in the UK where it sucks so bad. Get past these two and I've got like 8 more cars to get past. She needs the brakes to be that fast. She needs good brakes. But yeah, like I said before, like most of the time I imagine these are going to be just sort of purchases for the image. They're a bit of a posery bike, and you know, 9 times out of 10 the bikes you see on Instagram or TikTok or whatever, they're S1000RRs, they're Panigales, you know, R1s, and that's basically it. And this is unfortunately in that category where people just buy them just to sit and pose on them. You know, I haven't really done anything good. I can't go on track with this bike or anything like that, but if I was to buy one of these, or if I was to buy a track bike, yeah, I would definitely strongly consider one of these, especially if I was to ride to the track, do a track day and then come back. This would be an ideal bike for you. It probably isn't really going to go wrong because it's a BMW, and yeah, it's just going to be a good bike for you. No idea if it's still recording or not. Knowing GoPro, it's probably overheated. Stopped recording 20 minutes ago. It's a hot day today in the UK. Not quite sure what the temperature is, but it ain't cold. Quick shifter is so silky smooth, even slow, it's really nice. The lights on this are really good too. Big LED lights at the front. 2 indicator lights at the back, which they're always on. They alternate when you indicate, they turn off. Keep trying to change down with the blip of the throttle, and I don't need to. It has a quick shifter. Closer. We'll both fit through here. Easy. I have heard criticisms that people don't like how quiet it is, because it is quiet. Even like people online are saying, you know, you don't really need the exhaust that goes on it because it doesn't make a difference. Like people pay a lot for an Acura Povit can, a crap an inch, but it won't make a difference to the sound. Not a noticeable one really. It might sound a tiny bit different, but it's not really worth the money. If you want a real difference to a bike, you need to take the cat off, and that's probably something I would do straight away, but again, you're going to void your warranty. So have a think about it. What do you want to do? Just drop it down a few gears and disappear. Show you how absolutely ridiculous this bike is. Second gear roll on from, let's go from the start. Fucking hell. Ridiculous. So quick. That second gear from 20, 30 mile an hour, just in seconds you're doing ridiculous speed, and it's just pinpoint. Wheels just hovering above the tarmac. No wheelies, although you can turn all that off. I actually thought I had turned it off in the menu, but yeah, you can change the menu around. You can look at, like, you can have a sport button here, or a sport mode menu, so you can see your max lean and stuff. Braking force, DTC, you can change on the fly. It's very, very, very nice. It's got all the gear. All the gear, no idea for me. you'll be doing well to go wrong buying one of these. They are expensive, but probably worth the price tag they come with if you're going to get your most use out of it. It's a stunning bike to ride. It does everything you can imagine it would do really well. And if you compare this to the Panigale, you know, the Panigale's got that soul that this, I think, lacks a touch. I do like a bit of soul in a bike. I like a bit of difference, like a, you know, a different configuration than the standard inline 4, but you know, inline 4s have their place and people love them, they still do. So if you're thinking of buying one of these, don't know what you're waiting for. Probably money, or a relative to give you some. My feet are absolutely planted to these rear sets. They're so grippy. It's really nice. It's really lovely. So fucking quick. So planted in the corner. It doesn't move. Like a missile. No idea if this is recording. It's just so stable. It's like you're on rails on one of these. It's so nice. Kind of glad I'm giving it back tomorrow because I won't have to worry about speeding all the time. It's so blisteringly fast. It's the fastest bike I've ever experienced. You know, the M1000RR is probably similar. When you really get into the flow, it's so good. It just works. Everything just works for you really well. Feels nimble, feels light, feels nice and limble. It's obviously not the heaviest of bikes. I don't actually know what it is. I'll put it up on the screen, but it's feels good, feels nimble, as it should, being a super sport. Doesn't feel too fat, doesn't feel too long, feels good. It's a really nice size of a bike. It's quite a tall bike. I'm 5'10" with a 32-inch inseam, and I can feel that it's getting on to be quite tall. Although I'm fine, I can pretty much flat foot either side. But yeah, it's more of a, if you're under 5, I don't know, 5'8", 5'9", you're probably gonna start to think it's quite a tall bike. I think most BMWs are quite tall these days. Pop, pop, pop. So smooth. It's so smooth. I don't even know how to describe what this is like. It reminds me of getting in like an electric car where they're just smooth power. Really nice, smooth power delivery. That brake is solid. Absolutely solid. Turn that brake on and you're absolutely stopping. Be a weapon on track, this bike. Absolute weapon. It's no wonder they've had the success they're having, you know, if this is your base. Obviously this model, well, the M version of this model has won the Adamanti T, it's won BSB. They're doing pretty well. They know what they're doing. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please drop a like down below, consider subscribing. What's your favourite thing about the S1000RR? Would you consider buying one? Let me know down below, I'd love to hear. See what your thoughts are on this absolute weapon of a bike. Thanks for watching, see you on the next one. Ciao for now.